Ready. For the record, we have both assistant state attorneys present, both defense counsel, Mr. Sievers. I've been told we have a verdict. State's ready?
It is ready, Your Honor.
Defense is ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
So either side need any time to talk to their sides or their parties, because these things are tough, and I'm not going to have any outbursts.
Judge, we talked on the elevator ride up.
Defense?
We're fine, Your Honor.
Okay. I mean, if you can't handle it, you should wait in the hallway and let someone tell you after we have the verdict. Bring them out.
Yes, sir.
Please be seated. Have you selected a foreperson? That's you, ma'am. Have you reached your unanimous verdict? Will you please pass the verdict form to the bailiff? Thank you. We'll let the clerk publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 20th Judicial Circuit, in and for Lee County, Florida, criminal action. State of Florida versus Mark D. Sievers, case number 15 CF 673B. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. Count 1, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Conspiracy. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy. So say we all, December 4th, 2019, by the foreperson.
Would either side like the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, if I could have you state your name or your juror ID number. Verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, it was.
Sir, your name or ID number? Was that your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, it was.
Ma'am, your name or ID number? That's your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole? Ma'am, your name or ID number? That's your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole? Ma'am, your name or ID number? That's your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Ma'am, your name or ID number? That's your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Ma'am, your name or ID number? As well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Ma'am, your name or ID number? The jury as a whole.
Yes.
Sir, your name or ID number? Was that your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole? Verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole. Ma'am, your name or ID number? Ma'am, was that your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Ma'am, your name or ID number? Was that your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to have to set another court date for the next phase of the trial. I'm going to have to ask that you go back to the jury room for a few moments so I can talk to both sides about that for a moment. And we'll be with you momentarily.
Just wait, please.
Please be seated. First things first, at this point, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sir, revoke any bond that you have and hold you no bond. And you said you guys needed 1 or 2 days before we start?
1 or 2 is fine.
Defense?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Tuesday. Okay. And you need 1 full day?
If that much.
And you need a full day approximately?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't we say Tuesday, next Tuesday at 8:30?
Yes, Your Honor.
Both sides will be ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to bring the jury back out before we do anything else and tell them to be back here at 8:30. I'll ask in the interim, maybe we'll have a status Friday. Because you guys haven't made a decision on whether you're going to ask for sequestration, have you?
Not yet, sir.
Tell you what, I'm going to tell the jurors to come back Monday, even though we're not going to start until Tuesday, because if you're going to ask for sequestration, I'll need to know then at least, so I can give those jurors a heads up that they will not be leaving if they come in, potentially.
Yes, Your Honor.
Fair enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what do we got Friday? Anything?
No.
Why don't we get together Friday at 8:32 just to make sure there's no issues? We'll have a status for us on Friday and a status with the jurors on Monday with plans to move forward on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bring the jurors out.
What time you want us Friday, sir?
You guys want morning or afternoon? Doesn't matter to me. I'm just so used to saying 8:30.
I just have to check. I don't know if I had something scheduled that I was going to move if we were still in trial, but
If you want a moment to look at your phone, you can. And
actually it's old-fashioned paper.
tell you what, you can look at that because they don't need to know what time we're meeting Friday. So you can look at that while we bring them out.
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor will be instructing them not to leave.
Yes, ma'am. This rule still will remain in effect, and I'll instruct them. Yeah, sure. Okay. We're going to remain in recess for just a few moments. It's been an emotional moment for some of our jurors, so they need a few moments. So we'll be in recess for about 5 minutes. Tuesday's probably better than I can do on Monday. State attorneys present, both defense counsel and Mr. Sievers. State.
Your Honor, I believe that defense counsel's indicated they're going to waive sequestration. We thought we could, if they're going to do that, we could put that on the record now. When the jury came out, the court would not have to have them come back a day early.
Defense.
We waive sequestration.
And that's for the deliberations and the actual trial phase of it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That's acceptable, Mr. Sievers?
Acceptable as this is, yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have them come back then Tuesday. I'll see if the clerk can reach out to our alternates and let them know it's Tuesday as well then. Are they ready? Please be seated. We're going to have you all come back for the next stage of the trial next Tuesday at 8:30. I'm going to ask that you still not talk about the case with anybody else, look up any of the people or places involved, and no one should approach you on it from the media as well, because you are still active jurors in this case. And we'll see you all, again, keep with the instructions, don't read or look up any of the people or places involved, and we'll see you all next Tuesday at 8:30. Please be seated. I would ask members of the media who were present, they are active jurors still, unlike most of the juries when they leave here, since this is a two-stage process, to please don't reach out to them and or stop them as they're leaving the building. I know you won't. Anything further from the state at this point?
No, sir.
Defense? We'll see everybody Tuesday then at 8:30? Or do you want a status on Monday, just in case?
Tuesday's fine, Your Honor.
Tuesday? Tuesday at 8:30. See everybody then. Yeah, we keep it all. Please be seated. Yeah. You ready? Okay. For the record, both assistant state attorneys are present, both defense counsel and Mr. Sievers. State's ready.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a preliminary matter though. Yes.
Okay, we can address that in a minute. Defense is ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your matter.